We're back with another 3 projects made from this scrap pile right behind me. It's not getting any smaller, so we best begin to making some scrap. Not scraps, projects from scraps. We're making these. They're nursery bookshelves, and the listing on Amazon, there's several, but they all sell over 100 every single month. And the way I found these is I was going to buy some myself because it would solve a problem for me. And then I realized, wait a second, I can do that. So that's what I did. And this is how I did it. So let's turn some of these scraps right here into gold. I'm making 2 of these. So I'm going to be first starting by pulling out 16 inches, making a mark. It's nice that it's all red, easy to find. So I'm going to be doing that on both of my pieces and then using a high quality, definitely woodpeckers, square, not woodpeckers, it's a joke. I can't afford that. Marking my line, and then I'm going to be cutting it, but I'm going to mark the other one first. Both of them marked, time to cut. All right, so now we are going to measure from the other end 5.5 inches. And I will do that on both pieces, 5.5 inches. And I'm going to flip my tape over and do the other side as well. Have the square, break your pencil. Okay, I just went on a quick side quest. So my pieces have holes in them, so I'm going to try and make sure that those holes end up being on the inside. So I have 2 pieces here. They're same height, mirrored. This will be the back. This will be the back of the other one. So I'm going to measure in from this side about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do the same thing from the top. We're going to be pre-drilling 2 holes near the bottom of the opposite side that we just drilled holes in. And my little side quest was to make a jig so that I can do keyholes on the skinny boards. I just screwed a bunch of boards together to make a frame, so it can't go anywhere. And now I measure and cut my dowel to 16.5 inches, give or take. Assembly is pretty straightforward. I just put everything together with a clamp and then attach my 4 screws. The dowel's just floating in its spot, and it works out quite nicely. Well, there we go. That took way longer than I expected it to, but moving cameras and stuff. So you could definitely smooth it over, give it a sanding, make it a little bit nicer. Yeah, that's better. But that is essentially the project. It's pretty simple one. So on Amazon, you can get 3 of these for $37. Slightly smaller than this, I think. But with how quick these are to make, like you could really make like 20 of these in an hour if you're trying. I think it's pretty awesome. Okay, so we're on to project number 2, and it's Halloween themed. We're going to be using 1x6 material, but I need more than this, so I'm actually using a full 8-foot 1x6. And I'm considering it scrap because it's part of a project that I haven't finished. So that counts as scrap to me. Maybe not to you, but to me that counts as scrap. All right, so this part is going to start off. Does it go into lock? It goes into. All right, so this part is going to start off pretty easy. We need 4 10-inch pieces. So I'm just going to find out where 10 inches is on that. And you know, clamping a block is smarter. Let's clamp a block to this. All right, so I've measured, I've checked if it's 10 inches, and I'm going to clamp it onto here. And now I have a stop block that is successfully measured to 10 inches because I need to cut 4 of these, and I don't feel like measuring every single one of them. The last video didn't make the like goal of 250 likes, so we're only building 3 small projects in this video. 3 small projects is still pretty good, but 4 is better. My challenge to you, if this video gets 250 likes, the next small projects video will have 4 projects in it. But if it gets 500 likes, it will have 5 projects. And I'm not saying that because I already filmed a 4th project for this video, and I have all 4 projects planned for the next. So, slap that like button, and let's hit that goal. Okay, so next we're going to use this 1x4, and we're going to measure 7 inches on it, and I'll measure from the other side as well. All right, now I'm going to use my favorite non-sponsored device, the Craig Rebel, and I'm just going to put 2 quick little pocket holes in this. This is for the roof. You could glue this. I'm not going to because I ain't got time for that. So, do I remember how to use this thing? This, down, this. Button? Yeah, okay. Let's do this. And repeat that over here. Perfect. Okay, we got a roof, and now we're on to the fun part. So now I'm just drawing a spooky face that we're going to cut out. A personalization option that you could offer is offer to cut out like kids' drawings or something. I think people would really go for that. And you could probably charge some extra money. And here I'm just pre-drilling some holes so I can stick my jigsaw through much easier. Putting these together is scary easy. And the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add a dab of glue. I think that's how the dance goes. And I'm just going to paint down the side with some glue. And I'm going to flip it over. Do the same thing on this side. Perfect. And let's throw one more. And that should be plenty. And now we're going to add a dab of glue. That's so fun to see. On this side. Ah, it's so nice having glue again. There's so many projects I could use glue for. Honestly, I'm doing this assembly kind of in a bad order. I should have done the back first. But we'll make it work. It'll be fine. This piece first, because I'm going to have to glue or put glue on this face and on the bottom face over here, which makes things a little bit more complicated. And I'm just going to squish that in there. It moved. And there's no bottom on this because the idea is that you just place it over top of your probably electric candle these days. I don't know if I would want to contain a fire inside of it, but we're going to this try and give it a roof. Yeah, super. And our second project done and dusted. Well done, guys. Well done. If you've been following along this far, subscribe. Because I do more projects like this, but maybe even better. They're going to get better. I'm warming up. It's been a while. I'm warming up. Don't worry. I'm not going to throw any stain on it because I'm going to get my kids to paint it eventually. But all right, so we're on to project number three for this video, the final project of this video. It's a fun one. It's simple, and it's for the person that likes table decorations. That's your customer in this situation. We're making tables. Specifically, we're making a set of nesting tables. So you can have table. Picking up what I'm putting down? I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. So you need a small one, and a big one, and a bigger one. It's easiest to start out with the smallest one, and that's what I'm going to do. My smallest one will be 7 inches long. 7 inches? Yeah. My smallest one will be 7 inches long, and the next one will be 9 inches long, and the one after that will be 11 inches long. Now, I'm going to give you measurements that make this easy to follow along. The next one will be 9 inches. So I'm going to measure that one off this piece as well. And then on this one, I will measure 11 inches. So I'm using easy to follow along numbers that don't have the tightest of tolerances. When it comes to nesting, you could drop the sizes by a bit. Next, we need to measure we need 2 3/4 inch pieces. We need 2 1 3/4 inch pieces, and we need 2 2 3/4 inch pieces. So I'm just going to rip through all these really quick, and then we'll continue. Okay, so it's a very simple project. And it looks silly. But here's the thing. That's the beauty of small projects. That's so. They're small, they're easy. They're very easy for you or me to do because we're woodworkers. Our brains work this way. Not everybody does. Not everybody wants to actually do this themselves. But we're not done with this. We're going to make it more unique. It's going to be awesome. But first we have to put it together and glue it and wait. They're actually pretty sturdy too. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, so we're in the land of glue again. Everything is the land. And glue. It's funny, I'm trying to make it as straight as I can when the next part of this is going to be completely and utterly unstraightening it. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow, but in the same video. So for you, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dry, dry, and dry. So we get to move on to the next step of making this a little bit more unique. And to do that, we are going to get jiggy. So the idea is that you can arrange this on a table the way you want, and you can stick things on it as a display. Flowers, plants, salt, pepper, that kind of stuff. And then when you're done, they just nest nicely inside of each other, like so. And the idea was to make it look reclaimed. That's why we took the jigsaw to the outside, just to give it a slightly neater look to it. A poster on, I believe it was Etsy, that sells these for like $56 each for a set of 3.